Everything changed in my life after a random video on Stoicism compelled me to read later more than a dozen books on Stoicism. This philosophy fascinated me, and now I share it. The change was significant. Anxiety and stress were replaced by calmness and inner peace. My decisions became clearer and aligned with my values and virtues. But most importantly, a deeper meaning emerged in each day. I want to share with you how Stoicism can serve as a starting point for changing your own life. Let's explore together the basic principles of this philosophy and discuss how to apply them to real-life situations. We will also look at how these principles can be a valuable compass for the task of embarking on a new, more fulfilling life. So if you are ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery, of historical transformation, I invite you to watch this video to the end. Opening the door to a world full of practical wisdom and possibilities, the Stoic lessons of thinkers such as Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Zeno presented an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with this philosophical current. But what does Stoicism really represent? A brief transcription of Stoicism, however, does not allow us to fully understand its depth. Stoicism is an ancient philosophical doctrine that aims to develop virtue, self-control, and wisdom. The basic idea of Stoicism is that although we cannot control external circumstances and situations, we are able to influence our reactions and attitudes to them. This gives us a powerful tool to face life's challenges with dignity and peace of mind. One of the key concepts of Stoicism is the distinction between what we can control and what is beyond our control. For example, we can control our thoughts, actions, and choices, but we cannot control external events. The opinions of others, time, the past, or the future. Stoicism directs us to direct our energy and attention to what we can effectively modify and control by our own actions, rather than excessively worrying about things that are beyond of our control. However, this philosophy is not limited to abstraction. It offers practical tools that should be applied on a daily basis to help in overcoming stress, in overcoming anxiety and depression, in making decisions, and in finding lasting happiness. As we watch the video, we will break down some of the key principles of Stoicism and how they can be applied to real-life situations of your day, discuss the importance of values such as virtue, acceptance of imperfection, and living our principles of embracing virtue. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the demands of life, if you've ever wondered how to find calm or peace in the midst of the turmoil or deafening noise of the city, if you're just looking for a practical guide to improve your existence, this video is for you. Stoicism can be the key to a new beginning in your life, allowing you to build a more fulfilling and purposeful life. But this philosophy is just here to help us and to give us a direction. Action must come directly from you. No philosophy can completely change you unless you want it to. You have to help yourself. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss valuable tips along the way, and let's discover together this ancient philosophy of being a true Stoic. Let's discover together how this ancient, but at the same time modern philosophy can change your life and also mine, making me a new person. Now imagine if you could start your life over again. Imagine for a moment that you had the ability and you could hit the reset button to start over. Would you do that? Rebooting doesn't necessarily mean forgetting or disregarding your past, but it does mean learning the lessons of past experiences, the baggage we've accumulated over the years of using that wisdom to shape a more promising and prosperous future. Marcus Aurelius taught us that what prevents us from action we can transform into action that blocks the path, and that can become the very path we need to take. All you have to do is take the next step. As Marcus Aurelius said, take the next step, and no one can stop you from starting again. It's an art, a dance balancing between learning from our mistakes and moving forward with renewed hope. Our responses to situations reflect our own perceptions. If we see the world as a hostile place, we act in self-defense. But if we meet it with benevolence, our actions reflect love. Stoicism encourages us to question and adjust our perceptions of life, to see reality objectively and clearly without emotions obscuring and blinding us. As Seneca pointed out, we often suffer more for what we imagine than for what actually happens. He meant that sometimes we suffer for something that has not yet happened, or we suffer only mentally, and it turns out that it will never happen. If we view every obstacle as a favorable opportunity, then the true Stoics viewed challenges not as cruelties of fate, but as exercises that strengthen the spirit. It could be a new path, a way for you to go even further from where you were. They encouraged us to face challenges as opportunities for growth, remembering that just as fire refines gold, adversity improves people, strengthening us and making us better every day. And that makes me a follower of Stoicism. Everything we encounter in our lives can become something that will shape our lives at some point. And this is what makes Stoicism so remarkable and contemporary. In his reflections, Marcus Aurelius did not share his words with the world, but rather spoke of his daily reminders to live with authenticity and purpose. And they show us that at the beginning and end of the day, the dialogue we have with ourselves plays a crucial role in our lives. So we need to be friends with ourselves. I'm not saying we don't need someone on our side, but we need our own presence in whatever it is that makes your happiness important to you. Because the worst thing is to depend on others to be happy. Stoicism reminds us of the transience of all things, whether happiness, pain, success, or failure. It calls us to live in detachment, to appreciate the moments that matter, but be willing to let them go, as Epictetus put it. Remember that everything has a price. Choose what you value and be willing to give up everything else. The journey of the Stoics is not easy, but it is deeply enriching. It teaches us to value ourselves, to find strength in adversity, and to live with intention. I know it is difficult for some to deal with disrespect or to deal with any other situation where Stoicism teaches us to be silent. However, it is essential to living a fulfilling life. The Stoics believed in the importance of living in harmony, not only with the outside world, but also with our own. Therefore, it is appropriate to ask ourselves, am I acting in accordance with my true desires, values, and principles? Or am I simply reacting to the expectations of others? Remember that the universe is constantly evolving, and we must evolve too. Our thoughts have the power to shape our lives. We often try to please others and constantly look for external validation, often forgetting our true selves. However, Stoicism suggests that we recognize our intrinsic worth and not depend on the opinions of others to find fulfillment. As Epictetus wisely said, if you seek true freedom, it consists in not being subject to the will of others. Acceptance is not the same as denying yourself. It is understanding reality and acting wisely in the face of it. Acceptance involves recognizing that there are elements beyond our control that we always retain, the ability to control our own reaction to these events. It is the intersection between understanding reality and deciding how to manage it. Instead of waiting for storms to pass, we learn to dance in the rain and deal with it because we cannot control the weather. The present is the only time we really have. The past is only a memory. The future is an unknown. Real power is in the here and now. Concerns about the future or insistence on the past only distract us from the present unfolding before us, causing us to remain in a vicious cycle. The Stoics didn't just discuss philosophy, they lived their philosophy, constantly trying to become better. In a world where people only want to take advantage of us, it is important to remember the power of silence, both external and internal. Silence, it is in this silence that we find clarity, purpose, and a deeper connection to ourselves. This space allows us to reflect, recharge our energies, and focus on what really matters. Following Epictetus's advice, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. We know that often the secret to progress is to let go of what imprisons us, whether it be old hurts, resentments, or outdated perceptions of ourselves. Perhaps our own perceptions of who we are inaccurate, and through Stoicism we find the freedom to seek our true potential. The quality of our thoughts plays a crucial role in the happiness we experience in life, more than wealth, power, or status. Valuing virtue, which is the manifestation of goodness in our actions, involves acting with integrity, authenticity, and kindness. We need to reflect on the virtues we cultivate on our path. As Zeno of Kitty noted, it's not that we don't have enough time, it's that we waste it on useless things. A life full of inevitable problems cannot be ignored, but Stoicism teaches us that what really matters is not what happens to us, but how we deal with it, to us, but how we react to it. Don't waste your time on things that don't matter. Always try to evolve, because through this you can be born again. Every obstacle can be an opportunity to learn and grow and strengthen, as Epictetus said. In life, it's not about avoiding wounds, it's about not surrendering to them. When we were younger, the future seemed like an endless ocean of possibilities. So why does it seem like nothing is working out now? You need to analyze your actions, filter out what went right and what went wrong, as it can change the game for you. However, as is common in many stories, my life is also marred by the shadow of the past. Happiness became elusive in a relationship I thought was precious and began to crumble. Everything seemed to go wrong. It was then, in the midst of this spiral of self-destruction that this brief video mentioned earlier brought me to Stoicism. And that's when it became well understood what Stoicism really is. And I told myself that I would be a new person, a person who would change and adopt. Stoicism as my new philosophy of life. I hope that this video will also be a 0 point for someone, a starting point to a new life. So let's start repairing right here and right now. As Seneca described how unbridled passions can imprison us, I too have reflected on my own imprisonment in the past. Inspired by the lessons of Seneca and other Stoic philosophers, such as Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, I began my journey. In the process of finding that path, I learned the importance of self-control, the importance of resilience in the face of adversity, and the importance of realizing that if we can't control everything that happens to us and what people say about us, we can control our reaction to those events. We can make sure those events don't affect us today. Every day I am grateful to have discovered Stoicism at that critical moment in my life. This philosophy taught me to appreciate life, to solve problems with strength, and to find a true sense of freedom. I am the captain of my own clarity and purpose, and it is my mission to pass all of these teachings on to you. Although the path has not been easy, the Stoic teachings have been my beacon in the darkest and most difficult times. Some suggestions for developing skills and incorporating transformative practices into your daily life are offered for you to study, should the need arise. By applying them from today, or rather from now on, you will be on your way to complete renewal and a clear direction for the future. Number 1 is morning reflection. Take a few minutes each morning to meditate. Reflect on what happened the previous day, and visualize how you want your current day to unfold. This will help you mentally prepare to tackle problems and stay calm in stressful situations. Number 2 is a gratitude journal daily. Write 3 things in your journal that you feel grateful for. This practice will help you focus on positive things and appreciate the small joys of life. Number 3 is regular physical activity. Posters appreciate maintaining a healthy body. Exercise regularly, whether it's walking, running, doing yoga, or any other activity that works for you. Number 4, the principle of control. When faced with problems, remember the Stoic principle of distinguishing between what you can control and what you can't. Focus on making wise decisions, calmly accepting what is beyond your control. Number 5 is self-discipline. Develop self-discipline in aspects such as nutrition, finances, and time management. Set realistic goals and consistently work towards achieving them. Number 6, nightly self-evaluation. Before you go to bed, reflect on your actions during the day. Evaluate. Did you act in accordance with your Stoic values and principles? Identify areas where you can improve and plan how to do so. Number 7, learn with inspiring examples. Research books or biographies of people you admire or who embody Stoic values, such as Seneca Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius. Learn valuable lessons from their life experiences. Number 8 is distinction from the opinions of others. Don't worry too much about what others think of you. Focus on acting in accordance with your own principles and values without seeking the constant approval of a third party. Number 9 is the memory of death. Remember the impermanence of life and the inevitability of death. This should not be viewed with pessimism, but rather as a reminder to cherish existence and make conscious decisions about exactly how you want to live your life. Thinking about your death will show you how much you want to experience and accomplish in your goals. Number 10, skill development. Take the time to learn new skills or hone the ones you already have. Personal growth is crucial in Stoicism because it will give you the ability to tackle problems with more confidence. Number 11, accept the impossibility of control. There is no evil in what happens to you unless you choose to do it. Epictetus. Accepting what we cannot control frees us from anguish. Number 12 is the value of authenticity in relationships. Stoicism teaches us to seek authentic relationships based on virtue and mutual contribution. By embracing these principles, we change our lives, develop self-knowledge, resilience, and clarity of purpose. This helps us live with purpose, compassion, and peace of mind, even in the most challenging situations. Remember that Stoicism is a philosophy rooted in constant practice, and don't expect instant change. But over time, this practice can help you transform your life and adopt a more upbeat mindset that aligns with your principles and values. When faced with challenges and difficulties, remember the Stoic maxim: the obstacle is the way. Instead of complaining, look for opportunities to grow and learn from unfavorable situations. Practice balancing your desires and emotions. Don't let negative impulses dictate the course of your life. Either develop emotional self-discipline by seeking to understand the perspectives and feelings of others. Practice empathy and compassion. Help strengthen your interpersonal relationships and encourage greater tolerance for decisions or actions. Start counting to 3 before you act. This interval will allow you to reflect and make informed decisions rather than giving in to impulses. Know when to say no and avoid overloading yourself with excessive commitments and responsibilities. Set boundaries that enhance your mental and emotional health. Be mindful of how you communicate with others. Prioritize the construction of your words, avoiding unwarranted criticism and gossip. The practice of daily reading of philosophical texts by Stoic authors is an opportunity to reflect on their teachings and how they can be applied to your life. Set aside daily moments to contemplate your own mortality, which will help conceptualize your daily concerns and appreciate the time you have. Cultivate self-respect by choosing to tackle problems with self-awareness and motivation, rather than constant criticism for things that are not within your control. Look for ways to help others without expecting rewards in return. Altruism and community involvement are central pillars of Stoicism, providing a sense of purpose and fulfillment. In other words, Stoicism offers a powerful way to change your life. From morning meditation to empathy and service to empathizing and serving others, this practice allows you to solve problems in a calm and purposeful way. However, as Marcus Aurelius said, take the first step. Listening to these ideas is not enough. It's important to apply them to your daily life. Start today. Choose one or more of these practices and watch your perspective and well-being evolve over time. If this video was helpful to you and you want more personal development tips and practical philosophy, don't forget to enjoy this video, check in, and share your comments. I'd love to know about the impact of these practices on your transformation journey, as well as what topics you'd like to hear about in future videos. Remember, the path to a richer and more meaningful life begins with the small actions in your days and the constant application of Stoic principles.